Hello, my name is Chance, and this is my starter guide for Lords Mobile. So in this first video, we're going to kind of go over the UI and the general game elements, and basically just how to navigate through the different screens that you have, and how to get to the different parts of the game. Um, And then in further videos, we're going to go into each aspect of the game in somewhat of a detailed fashion. It's not going to be a very top tier, highest rating overview or anything like that. It's just going to be more for, uh, for starters and for beginners, just to kind of get their foot in the door and and learn how the game works, so they can branch out and learn on their own how to actually become better, if they so choose. Um, so anyway, the first thing when you start the game, you're gonna come up to a screen that looks like this once you get through the tutorial and everything that they have you go through. And what this is, what the screen that you're looking at right now, this is your turf. Um, and your turf is basically your base. It's your castle, your land. This is all your property, I suppose. But it's called your turf. And so right in the middle here, you have your castle, and each building is going to have its own level, right? So this my castle right here is level 25, 25, 24, 24, and so on. And so right here you have different areas for each section of buildings. So basically, this right here is one area, and then down here these one, two, three, four, five buildings are another, and then each area you can kind of distinguish by the layout and the details of where they're or what they're sitting on, basically, like the landscaping. So you'll notice you see a lot of similar buildings because, for example, this area and this area, you have the options to build the same type of buildings. There's the barracks, the infirmaries, and the manors. And on all of these plots of land, you choose one out of those three types of buildings to build. So you could have all barracks, you could have all infirmaries, you could have all manors, or you can have a mix of all three, which is the best way to go. Um, and then let's see. So pretty much, and then over here you have some of your unique buildings, and this last area on the far left is the area that you'll unlock last, and this is a lot of the higher buildings. Usually, this is pretty late in the game for people that are just starting out, especially if you're just playing for free. If you're paying money to advance yourself further with gems, that's the game currency, I suppose, and you can see that up here. It's the purple gems, is exactly what they are, and that you can use to advance your building. So, with that said, this game, if you're not if you haven't started playing yet, or you're kind of new to this genre, um, essentially the way this game works is you have your buildings and your armies and whatnot, and everything you do in this game takes time, real life time. And so if you want to upgrade your buildings, if you want to train more troops to use in your army, if you want to move to a different spot on the map, anything you do, it takes real life time. And so, for example, let's go to, okay, I'll just go to this building. So this is a quarry, and so this is a pretty good time to go over this screen now. So whenever you click on a building, it's going to pull up the building menu. So this is, or the building screen. This is the building screen for the query that I clicked on. Now, this is a resource building, so this has the different statistics for what it does, how much this building produces per hour, how much total I can store, and how much overall I'm producing an hour. And then you have your demolish if you want to remove the building and build a new one, or upgrade the building if you want to further advance the level of this particular building. And you'll notice on almost every screen, well, on most screens, they have an information button. And so this information button is different, but it acts differently depending on what type of screen you're in. And so if you're looking at a building and you press the information button, it's going to show you what each level is going to give you, essentially. So, for example, right here, this building I have at level 10, and so it is giving me 3,060 stone an hour, and 205,600 to my total storage. And then if I advance it to level 11, I'll get this much, 12, that much, and so on. And you can see that. So anyway, back to the core mechanic of the game is the time. So if I wanted to upgrade this building, I click on it, and this building will take, so originally it will take 9 hours, 18 minutes, and 19 seconds to upgrade this building from level 10 to 11. And then I have boosts and talents and whatever else to increase that time or lower that time. But if you look right here, this button will automatically finish the building right then and there, no wait time at all, but of course it costs gems. And so gems naturally are the pay real money to get this in-game currency so you can advance the game faster. And a lot of people argue that this game you have to pay money in order to do well. That is not the case. You can do well, you just, it takes time instead of, because everything, well, I shouldn't say everything, but most everything that's in the game can be attained for free. It just takes time versus real money. And so, and also there are tons of ways to get gems in-game for free. So certain things require gems to do, but you can get quite a lot of them in-game just by playing the game without spending any real money. So anyway, moving on from that, this is your turf, like I said. And in this screen here, you have a few different UI elements. The first, and probably the most important up here, is your player icon, I guess you could call it that. This displays what current hero you have as your leader, and this is your overall might. And your might is essentially your strength, your power. It's an accumulation of different statistics of your current state of game that add to that score. So, for example, the number of troops you have, the level of your buildings, the power of your heroes, all of that combined adds up to that number. And so, that obviously that would in turn mean that the higher the number, the more powerful the player, and the lower the number, the weaker the player. So next you have the gems. I already kind of went over that. Right here is your STA, or stamina. So this is the little heart gems are what you use to take on the hero stages, which I'll get into in a later video. And that basically just levels up your heroes and where you can upgrade them and so on. So that has to do with your heroes. And this, you can see, it also takes time to regenerate. Um, and then Brave Hearts, that is another, I guess you could say, pay-to-win option where essentially you can use a Brave Hearts to completely regain your stamina up to 120. Well, it can go past 120, but Bravehearts typically you buy with gems, and of course gems most commonly are achieved by real money. So, right, and you also have a limited number you can actually use per day, and that resets at the time. So your daily reset time, everything in the game resets. Well, not everything. I shouldn't say that. Certain things reset your daily timer at the time that you started your account. So I started my account around 2200 or 10 p.m., however you want to say that. And so that is my new restart time. So let's see. The next item is your VIP level. VIP is essentially your, I don't know, it's so, well, I guess we could do this. So you click the information button, and VIP is literally just you log in each day, you get more points, and you level up. And each level you can see gives you different bonuses, and it's another system for them to, I guess it's an incentive for you to log on each day, so you get your so your consecutive logins will give you more points. So they want you to keep logging in every day to level up your VIP level. And of course, you can buy VIP points with gems, as with most everything in this game. So next, right here, if you click this little banner, it'll pull out your queue. And your queue, this is just what you have in the works right now. So I have a promotion, training, research, and construction working right now. And it shows the time left on it. And then if you press these little arrows, then you can speed them up with speed up items or with gems. And you also have little icons that kind of distinguish each different thing. So construction, research, training, and so on. And to get rid of that, you just click the banner again and it goes away. So in your top right corner, you have, well, I guess I should go over this. This is your chat up here. And your chat, it'll only show the latest 2 lines. And these 3 bubbles, I guess you can call them indicators, it shows you what chat channel you're on. So if you click that, you can actually pull up the main chat screen. So in the middle here with this icon right there, this is the guild chat. So this is chat that only your guild can see, and this is where generally you want to stay, purely for the fact of all of your guildmates are going to be talking here, and this is where a lot of your information, you can see here, let's see, we post monsters in there just so we can, team up on it. We can, say, like this guy, he was asking for food. We can send resources and just kind of general talk between the guild. Now this top here with the little green earth thing icon, this is the kingdom chat. So the way that the game works is you have your turf, and then your turf is placed in a kingdom, and a kingdom is one area, I suppose, one contained area in the world. And the world is just all of the kingdoms all together that are in the game. So in your kingdom, or in your kingdom chat, this is just players from your current residing kingdom. And then the bottom chat is a system generated chat. It just kind of has different different little snippets of different things. So the War of Wonders battles are in here. If there's a particularly large fight, it'll be in here. So if you see this, so this guy, angelic god, attacked that guy, and it was a big battle, so they announced it, and now everyone in the kingdom can see this. And so generally that's just for big announcements. So for the most part, you want to stay in guild chat just so you don't miss anything with the guild. If monsters to be hunted, or we'll post in here, hey, we're being raided, so come back and shield, or just general guild messages, whatever. So, okay, next in the top right here we have your resources that are available. So there are 5 resources in the game. There are, let's see, yes, so there's food, stones, timber, ore, and gold. So the food is probably your most important, just because almost everything takes food. Food is a very abundant resource. You typically have a lot of food most of the time. And one thing to note is your troops that you have from your barracks, they require upkeep. So for example, these are the tier 1 troops, which are the lowest tier of troops. If you look right here, it says upkeep is 1. So for each troop that you have of tier 1, it subtracts 1 food per hour, right? And so if you have, like right now, I have 121,000 troops, that means that every hour it'll subtract 121,000 food. So right here you see how it's flashing red. Well, that means that I'm subtracting more than I'm gaining. Because right now, as you can see, well, I guess I haven't gone over this yet, but these are the farms, these yellow ones here. So these farms produce food. So you can see right now my total food produced per hour is 37,000, but my total upkeep per hour is negative 342,000. So every hour I'm subtracting about 300,000 food from my reserves, I suppose. So, so that's food. That is the only one that can deteriorate like that. Every other resource, it just stays, and there's no way to subtract it unless you actually use it, or if you get attacked and an enemy steals it. So with stones, it's pretty much the same thing. You can use these items to give you stones to use in your buildings. Timber, it's the same thing. And then ore, it's also the same thing. Now, different things require a mixture of stones, timber, and ore. So one building might use stone and timber, one building might use ore and stone, one building might use ore and timber. It really just doesn't, there's no meaning to it, or I guess there's no one that's more prevalent than the other. They're all just 3 equally used in the game. And so finally we have the gold. Gold is used for your more important things. So research would probably be your biggest thing, and also your building items and equipment. And then next you have, sorry, I'm going along the UI buttons here and visual icons and stuff. So right here, this is your active boost menu, I suppose. Turf boost. Oh, okay, I didn't know it actually had a name. So turf boosts. This is just all the boosts that you have active right now. So as you can see right now, I don't have any except for this one, which that one's actually a subscription, so that's not really in the game, I suppose. But you can see you have different boosts that you can get, and I believe these all cost gems to purchase. You also get these items randomly through monster hunting or events or anything like that. And then, of course, you're at the very top. You have um, your shield, which if you're shielded, that means that nobody can attack you and nobody can scout you. And scouting is basically just doing a recon uh, mission, I suppose, against another player to see what they have, how many troops they have, what their buildings are at, like levels and stuff. And so that means nobody can do that to you if you're shielded. And you can see you can shield for 4 hours, 8 hours, 24 hours, or 3 days, 7 days, or 14 days. So you can shield for however long you need to, and then obviously you can purchase those gems as well, or you get the I haven't purchased any with gems. I'm pretty sure since I started, like these are all just I've gotten from events and item drops and just random things that can give you shields. So um, shielding is probably one of the most important things in the game, because if you're shielded, obviously nobody can attack you, so that means you keep your resources and all that good stuff. And then Battle Fury we'll get into in a different video. So moving on here, because I've already been going on for quite a while. I wanted this to be a shorter video, but I suppose that's not going to happen. So this button right here, it's not always there. It's only there. You can see the number says 12. So if you click that, this is actually your guild help. So each thing that you build or research, you can get help from your guildmates. So right here you see Alex Lee, he's building a level 15 watchtower. So if I click help, that will go from 16 to 17, and that means each help that you get from a guildmate gives 1% off of your build or research time, and with a 1 minute minimum. And so let's just say, I don't know, let's just say you're building something that takes 10 minutes. Well, if somebody presses that help button, then that means you get 1 minute reduced from that time. And then if 10 people press the help button, then all of your 10 minutes are gone, and you now get your building. And so you can just press the help all. But and in this screen you can see what your research and builds, what percentage they are, because you only get a certain number of helps for each item. And so right now I have 30 out of 30 for both of my research and buildings. And every time you help someone, you get guild coins, which is another form of currency. And then yeah, so go ahead and we'll just press help all, and then it'll clear that whole board, and you'll see that button now goes away. The next item is this mystery box. So this is just something that just is kind of random. It just has some random item in there. You press claim, and then that'll go into your bag, and then you'll see right here 37 minutes or 38 minutes until the next one's available. It's just, it's sometimes you get good stuff, most of the time you don't. It's just kind of an extra way to get another item. I mean, this timer, this one's actually pretty long. A lot of times it's like 3 minutes or 90 seconds, or just something short like that. And then you can see there it says 8 more until 5 times rewards. So in 8 more, then the next one that I open will have whatever item it chooses. I'll actually get 5 of them, which sometimes that's pretty nice too, because you can get a good random item, but also have it fall on a 5 times item, and you get pretty good stuff. So now, if you click this button here, you'll expand your menu, and this menu is essentially your biggest form of navigation. So this right here is your guild menu. So you'll click that and it'll open up your guild tab or guild screen. If you open up this letter, you'll get your mail. And the mail system is essentially just um, your messaging system between players and your system messages. So right here, system messages, this just has, different things from the game. Equipment has been forged, hero has been promoted, and so on. Your reports, these are all your combat notices. So you can see here I hunted that monster. I gathered some resources, and a coalition attacked the darkness. I scouted this guy. So, it's just these are all your combat reports. The third tab here is your player-to-player mail. So that is your different. That's your direct messages to each player. Let's see. Moving on, we have this. The third icon here is the quest page. So these are different quests that you have available to you. So turf quests are things like upgrade buildings or complete different challenges, like win Coliseum battles or attack a level 2 monster. Just stuff like that. Stuff that you would generally find in any other sort of role-playing fantasy game. Just kind of assisting you in progressing your character is what these turf quests are. And they give you rewards, experience, might. This gives you stamina and a little bit of resources too. Now, admin and guild quests I don't have any right now. It resets every 6 hours. Actually, let me do this. So if you press this button, you'll actually get it reset. So this is what it'll look like. These quests, essentially, you probably won't have this button right here if you're new. But if you're new, essentially, you'll have a little button here that says Start, and what that button will do is it will start a timer allocated to this quest, and after that timer runs out, you can collect the quest, and you'll get these rewards. And then the color of the quest determines how good the rewards are. So you can see this gray-white quest here gives you 262 experience. Now this green one gives you 1,050 experience. So quite a difference there and you can also see the resource levels are very different as well. I'm a little further on in the game, so I can go ahead and just press one button and it clears all of them. You can see the little things flying everywhere, going to my resources and all that. And it's the same exact thing for the guild quests. You just click a button and then wait out the timer, and then you can complete it. Now, VIP quests, these are essentially just little chests with items in them. Depending on your VIP level, you'll get X amount of chests. So I have currently, at my VIP level of 10, that means that I have 4 chests every day. And these, the drops aren't anything, too astounding. They're not like giant bundles of amazing items. It's just regular like resources and just kind of random stuff like that. Nothing too great. And then, once you get to VIP 12, 15, then you can unlock more. And then, let's see, moving on, we have the settings button, pretty standard. You can go ahead and change your volume and go like their Facebook page, of course. That should be your first priority right there. All right, so let's see, moving on. We have the bag. Your bag is just where you store all of your items. Pretty typical. Each of these tabs has different types of items. So resource tab, this, you can see right there, it has different items that give you resources. Speed up tab has all your speed up items. Combat has your combat item, like your boosts and so on. Chests, these are all your chests that you can get. And typically you want to have this empty because, if you have 20 of these chests, why would you just keep them sitting there instead of actually using them? I just forgot I had these. And sometimes you'll get these chests and you won't even know it. So make sure you check this tab pretty often so you always get your items. And then in your bag you can also see the gem mall, which is where you can buy stuff with gems. So like a Braveheart costs 2,000 gems, Relocator 1,500, and so on. And then this is the guild shop where you can use those guild coins to also buy items. So pretty self-explanatory. Now moving on, we have the hero page. So when you click it first, it'll pull up to this screen. So this will kind of go over all your heroes. So this page right here, this top one, shows you what heroes you have. And yeah, I don't know how much detail I want to get into here. Essentially, because I'll have another video just for heroes. So basically, this page will just show you what heroes you have, what level they are, what grade they are, what rank they are, what type they are, and what relics or trophies they have. And then if you click the next one, the second one down, this will show you what free-to-play heroes you can obtain and what your progress is at for obtaining them. So like this guy right here, Soul Forger, I have 0 medals out of 10 that I need to hire him. So I don't, I'm nowhere close to getting this guy. But this guy, I have 1 out of 10, so at least I'm making progress there. Now this tab here is your hero items. So these are like item shards, blueprints, hero medals, trophies. Just honestly, you're never really going to use this screen unless you have experience items that you want to use for your heroes. So yeah, mainly it's just this screen that you're going to be looking at to open your hero. And so for example, when you click on your hero, it'll pull up this screen. You can see it might seem a little convoluted right now, like at first when you're trying to learn everything. But don't worry about it for now. There's a lot of pages, a lot of info. Just for now, just try to look through everything and try to figure out, I guess, what it does and what it's trying to say, because once you actually dissect it all, it's not. Once you get the hang of it, it's not too complicated. So let's see. I believe that's everything for this screen. Well, I guess I could go into these two. So this button right here, this is always going to be something different. It changes daily or every 6 hours, or I don't know, something. I don't know how often it changes, but this button right here is going to be your packages or your what are they called? Just packs, I believe. So these you can see right here. You can pay real money to get these items, and then these items will just they'll just get transferred right into your account or into your bags, and then the gems will go right into your gem stash or whatever it's called. So that's what that button is. This button right here is your events page. So this page is very, very crucial if you have a guild or if you're in a guild. So this button right here, you can scroll to the left and to the right, or yeah, to the right and to the left. So this page is where you'll get all of your guild events, all of your solo and hell events, and I'll go over all of these in a future video. But for right now, just know that your events page, if anyone says, hey, go check out the events page and look for so-and-so event, then you click this button right here, and then if you don't see it immediately, then scroll to the right, and then it should come up. So like Guild Showdown just ended, and so this is how you access that screen. And then this button right here will actually take you to the HTML formatted screen for the news, and that sometimes they have events where you can get items and just kind of different information pieces there. And then yeah, let's see. That's pretty much everything. Um, so moving on, we can go. So this button right here is going to be the. So remember how I mentioned earlier that you have your turf, and your turf is inside a kingdom, and the kingdom is inside the world. So this is your kingdom map. So if you click that, it'll say right there, Kingdom of Golbrook, and this is you. So if you actually zoom in there, so that's me right there, Vaz Peach. And if you click on, let me zoom out a little bit there. Okay. So if you click on a castle, it'll tell you who the player is, what their might is, how many troops they've killed, what guild they're in, what kingdom they're in, and then some different options there. And then if you click a space that's not occupied by anything, it'll say what space it is, what kingdom it is, and then it'll give you the option to move to that space. It'll give you the option to send a troop to that space, or if you press this button right here, it'll actually, so these are the core, so this game uses a coordinate system. So you can see when you click on that tile right there, and that's the official term, a tile. When you click on that tile, you'll get coordinates. So this coordinate of that particular tile is Kingdom 511, and the let's see how to phrase this, the just X and Y coordinates. So if you've taken any sort of math class, you should know what that means. It's basically your location on a grid. And so this particular tile is at X 262, Y 236. And so let's just say you want to have everyone in your guild look at this square. So if you click this button right here, it'll automatically copy and paste that into your chat, and then if you press this button right here, it'll send it to whatever chat channel you're in. And so, yeah, so this is your kingdom. You can kind of scroll around. You can look at all the different areas, tiles, monsters are right there. You have your resource tiles. You have your dark nests. And all this stuff I'll go into in a later video. Just know that this is how you navigate your kingdom screen. And everything else is the same, except for right here you have your coordinates that you're looking at. So as you can see, as I move the screen, those numbers change because I'm not looking at the same coordinates anymore. Coordinates that I'm looking at are moving. And then this button right here is very important. This is your bookmarks button. And so if you click a tile of anything, you can see this button right here, and this is your bookmarks button. So if you click that, it'll create a bookmark. Now that'll just save that location for later. Now if you want to access your previously saved bookmarks, you click that button, and then it'll show up under whatever tab you saved it on. And also you have your personal bookmarks, and these are guild bookmarks. So these are bookmarks that your guild has saved for whatever reason. And then, let's see, as far as that goes, as far as this goes, everything else is the same. Another thing that you want to pay attention to is this banner of buttons over here. This button right here will get rid of all the other UI aspects, and so you can just freely move about and look at everything. Now, within your current kingdom, the kingdom is quite large, and so it can be kind of annoying to keep moving the screen and all, trying to go hundreds of tiles or whatever you want to do. Now, if you do go quite far, you can press this button when your castle becomes out of view, and you can click that, and you'll get, I guess, teleported right to your view of your castle. So anyway, if you click this button right here, it'll actually give you a kingdom overview. So you can see this little icon here, this is where your castle is. So this is where your base is. Now, these right here, these 7 items, these are the wonders. And these are just massive bases that uh, different guilds can conquer and get bonuses. But that's also for later. So this, you can just click anywhere and it'll take you to those coordinates. So now, if I go in here, my castle is here, but my screen is over here. And same thing, if you click down here, it'll take you to these coordinates. And you'll see right here, of course, the coordinates change as well. And then, of course, you can just press this button to go right back to where you were. Now, the only other button, or the only other thing that we haven't looked at is the world. So if you do want to go to some other world for whatever reason, you can click this globe and it'll pull you to the world map. So as you can see, we are here, or you are here, right in Kingdom 511. So each kingdom, you can see there's a little over 500 different kingdoms. Where are we? There we are. Each kingdom has a different ruling guild, overlord, and protection is essentially when when a new guild or when a new kingdom is created, because once there's a limit to the number of players that can be in a kingdom, and so or a limit to the number of players that can be in a kingdom before a new one gets created. So when a new one gets created, then that means that the kingdom is created with protection. So protection essentially means that players from other kingdoms cannot migrate there or cannot move there until that protection ends. And you might think, well, why do we want that? Why is that important? Because if you have someone, if you have someone that's been playing this game for years, like 2 or 3 years, and they've been paying money and all this stuff to get their huge, big account, ready for raiding and attacking, and you put them in the same kingdom as someone who's just starting out, and they have, 10,000 might, then there's no way that beginner player can even think about doing anything, because they're just going to be so overwhelmed with all these big, powerful players. So, for example, let's just go into one of these kingdoms, and these you can see that there's no migration. So, okay, so let's click on this guy. This guy has 236 million might. So he's probably been playing for quite a while. And if we're just scrolling around here, this guy has over 1 billion might. So if you take someone like this and you put him in the same kingdom as, as this guy, who has 720,000, then it's good to separate the old from the new, and give the new players time to expand and build themselves up before they're, I guess, exposed to the full world. And so let's see, Kingdom 511. So right here, our protection ends in 48 days, and then everyone will be able to migrate to this kingdom. And now those are 2 terms that are pretty important. Transfer is the term that they use or that the game uses to move your turf or your castle to a different point on in your kingdom. So I'm right here. I'm Vaz Peach right there, the orange one. So if I click this tile and I want to move to that tile, then I press transfer, and that will give me the ability to transfer or move to that spot. Now, if I want to move to a totally different kingdom, then it's not as easy as that. You have to have a migration scroll, and those, if you are curious, so for one, you'll need a relocator to see right there. It says allows you to transfer your turf to a target location in the current kingdom. So you'll need one of those to move your base even just, to right there, a few tiles down. But to migrate, you'll need a, let's see, where is it? A migration scroll. So it says, allows you to move your turf to a target location in other kingdoms. So you'll need one of these, and it doesn't end there. If you're one of the more powerful players in your current kingdom, you'll need more than one migration scroll. And it depends on your rank for your might. So if you're rank number 1, it takes something like, I don't know, 25 scrolls to migrate kingdoms. And if you're, I think the addition, like the additional might or the additional scrolls only applies to up to rank, I don't know, 100 or something. And so if you're not within the top 100 or top 50 or whatever that number is, then you only need one. And it's a good thing too, because as you can see right here, it takes 810,000 to guild coins to buy one of those. And if I didn't mention this already, you can only get 40,000 guild coins each day. So that takes a long time, a long time to get, and definitely not what you want to be waiting for. If definitely not something you want to expect to use very often if you are in that top 100 or top 50 or whatever it is. So, and I guess with that said, that's pretty much everything for this video. And I'm not sure, I may break this up into multiple videos or multiple parts because I have been recording for a little over 45 minutes, so definitely a little while. But in future videos, I hope to go into a little bit more detail of each aspect of the game. So, for example, we have like the heroes, the buildings, research, monster hunting, equipment, talents, hero stages, the Colosseum, just all sorts of good stuff that needs to be explained in order for a new player to be able to dive in and actually be able to understand how the game works. Now, like I said, we're obviously not going to be able to go into super massive detail because this is intended for brand new players. So if I go into a lot more detail than you need, then which I probably already have just in this video, then either you might get scared off or it's just irrelevant information. Like the ideal teams for different hero stages in the Colosseum, or the prioritization of different researches and all that stuff you can kind of learn as you go. But the more basic ideas you want to have together, and just general principles of how to maintain your turf and minimize your losses in the game is really the point of these videos, just so that you can actually learn how to build and be progressing at a constant rate versus just coming to a steady. I don't know. This is something because this is something I'm making for my guild mates because I want them to grow and progress further in the game, and get stronger and stronger. And yeah, hopefully we can take the wonders once we get strong enough. We'll see. Anyway, I appreciate you watching, and stay tuned for what's next. I will see you then.